Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for next week's 10 days. For today's video, that's going to take us to around the 8th of June, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and E7 ensembles over to around a couple of weeks. So have a look at CFS V2 for June itself at the end of the video. JMA Friday has been released. That's a month ahead look ahead, and it's taking us through the next 4 weeks, so that's pretty much a June look ahead as well. So it looks like we've got quite a bit of a divergence between the JMA and the CFS for June. They're both in agreement to start off with that we bring down some quite cold northerly winds. But beyond that, they are in a little bit of disagreement going further out into June. The CFS definitely, out of the two, is the one that wants to return us to warmer and drier weather through the middle and second half of the month. Have a look at JMA Friday, see what's going on there. And also we released the weekend forecast for Europe as well. So brought back the weekend forecast for Europe, European Outlook, that we did years ago, but we stopped it around 4 years ago. We brought it back, and we're just trying it out. That's YouTube only at the moment. We're not embedding that to GalsWeathers.com. So you have to go to YouTube to watch that if you would like to. And also weekend forecast for America that we released late on a Thursday evening. That also is just on YouTube at the moment until we see how it goes and whether we build up a little bit of a following for those two videos. So have a look at those and see what's going on. Got the ENSO update for May coming up for you tonight. I'll bring you an update with everything El Nino, La Nina related and so on. So have a look at the ENSO update that will be released around 7 o'clock tonight, I would have thought. Right, so just going to tell you about YouTube channel membership. So if you would like to become a channel member for Gaz Weathervids on YouTube, and you are a YouTube premium member, you can get Gaz Weathervids channel membership for free, but only until Sunday. So only 31st May is the last day for this offer. YouTube have asked me to tell you this. So if you are a YouTube premium member, you would like to become a Gaz Weathervids YouTube channel member, you can do that for free by clicking the join button on the YouTube homepage, Gaz Weathervids YouTube homepage, and with the videos on YouTube, and it'll take you to another page where you can see what benefits you get from becoming a channel member and also sign up. You won't have to pay for that until Sunday if you're in the UK, but after that the offer ends. So you've got a couple of days to get that offer if you are a YouTube premium member. Big thank you to all of Gaz Weathervids YouTube channel members. We've got 20 members so far, so thank you so much, everybody, for the support. It's absolutely fantastic what you've done for Gaz Weathervids since we started opening up the channel to membership around a month, probably around 5 weeks ago now. Over on Patreon, so for our patrons, we've got a little post that I put up this morning, and there's a very short video as well that you can download and have a look at. Just going over everything that's currently going on in terms of YouTube channel membership. Basically, I've paused the payment for patrons during June, so you won't get billed during June if you're a patron, and it gives everybody the opportunity, if they want, to change from Patreon to YouTube. You don't have to. You can remain a patron if you would like to do that. You can do both if you would like to do that. It's absolutely fine, however you want to do it. But I just wanted to give everybody a heads up of what's happening in terms of channel membership and the patrons, to give them that opportunity if they want to change from Patreon to YouTube, and as I say, you don't have to, but it's an option if you would like to. And for people who want to remain as patrons, then the billing will resume as normal in July. But for June, it is paused to give everybody that opportunity if they want to switch from Patreon to YouTube channel membership. And also, let's not forget our donors as well. So hello and thank you so much to our donors, PayPal donors as well. The way everybody has come together for Gaz Weathervids over the past few weeks has been absolutely phenomenal, and as ever, I'm always amazed and blown away and surprised by the support that we receive. So just thank you so much to all of you for the support that you have given us over the past few weeks and months. We are getting through this coronavirus crisis, and actually the advertisements, money that the advertisements are giving us, which collapsed back in March time, they're just beginning to edge up a little bit now. So hopefully we're turning a corner, and the worst is over. But many of your favourite websites, and particularly the weather websites, have been hit very, very badly over the past few weeks and months. But the support that you have given to Gaz Weathers means that we have got through this crisis a lot better, I think, than many of the major weather websites. So I think we're doing really, really well the way we're getting through this, and it's down to you, all of you, for the support that you have given us. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. Right, let's get on with it then, and we're going to start off with the latest observations from XC Weather. So it's another warm afternoon out there this afternoon. Look at this, the UK is bathed in warm temperatures. Our high temperature at the moment is flashing away as 26 degrees. Interestingly, it's a long way north as well at Aboyne and also Abbeymoor, flashing away at 26 degrees. I think some of those stations could go a little bit higher than that. Somewhere in northern Scotland, maybe eastern Scotland, could see the temperature popping up to around 27, possibly 28 this afternoon, into the 80s Fahrenheit. A little bit unusual to have the highest temperatures in the far north, but then these things do happen. The Moray Firth, for example, does sometimes get the highest temperatures in the country. More east areas are a little bit cooler, actually, running down this eastern coast. It's just a little bit fresher. The wind's coming in off the North Sea, so that's tempering the heat a little bit. We've got Conisby Royal Air Force Base at 21. We've got Cambridge at 22. Still very pleasantly warm. These are very nice temperatures indeed, very comfortable with the easy breeze as well. Luton is at 21. Church Northerly is at 22. And over on the east coast, or towards the east coast, Norwich is at 18. And Weybourne on the east coast itself is a little bit on the cool side, actually, at 15 degrees. But going further west, it gets hotter as we move into Wales. Sennybridge is at 20. And then going up to North Wales, Capel is at 23. Also pretty hot in the southwest as well. Cardingham is at 22. Over into Northern Ireland, we've got Belfast at 21. And then further north again, we've got Tulloch Bridge at 23, and we've got Oakby at 23 as well. So highest temperatures in the north, coolest in the east and in the southeast. A little bit unusual that to happen, but you do get that a little bit at this time of year when you're picking up an easy wind off the North Sea. And actually it is very, very comfortable across most eastern parts of the country. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Great Malvern. We're starting off pretty warm at the moment. We're going to see the temperature coming down over the next few days, very gradually. The upper air temperature coming down over the next few days. We know that we're probably going to be in for this northerly in the second half of the coming week. There is a bit of uncertainty about how far north or how far south we dig those northerly winds. So most of the GFS ensemble members are still going significantly below average there in the second half of next week. But we do have a significant minority that are actually managing to hold up the upper air temperatures. So quite a few of those ensemble members, they're a minority, but quite a few of them are probably not getting that northerly down into the southern part of the country and are actually keeping the temperature holding up quite well, probably via some sort of area of low pressure that develops to our south and just acts as a buffer against those northerlies getting in. So the northerly is pretty much a done deal, I think, for Scotland, but it's probably not a done deal down in the south. There's a chance that temperatures may hold up into the second half of next week. However, I think we will still get the wind into the north through the second half of next week. Beyond that, again, quite a lot of scatter. Most of the ensemble members then look like they are averaged, maybe a little bit below average. But we've got these ensemble members up here that are holding the temperature up quite nicely. So I think probably the first half of June is going to be a little bit cooler, certainly compared to what we've been used to during the second half of May. But it may not take all that long before we start getting back to some warmer weather, if you see what I mean. By mid-month, we could already be seeing signs of the temperatures, upper air temperatures lifting up. Precipitation-wise, loads of dry weather coming up over the next few days. Well into next week, it's going to be staying dry. From around the middle and second half of next week onwards, it looks like it's starting to turn more showery, let's say. Then these grasses, we know from New West Central, they do tend to overdo the precipitation spikes a little bit, but nevertheless it does look as though there could be some useful rain through the second half of next week and into the first half of June. The gardens certainly do need it, and so do the farmers as well. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of useful rainfall in the second half of next week. Temperature anomalies from the 28th of May to the 6th of June are very close to average. Going to be warmer than average in the north, near normal down across England and Wales. We will probably see these temperature anomalies coming down further over the next few days if we start to dig in those northerly winds. Look how cool it is though across eastern, southeastern parts of Europe. Very, very cool temperatures over there. Precipitation is still significantly drier than average. Going to have several more dry days to come till the weather perhaps turns a bit at the end of the coming week. So that's how the GFS is looking for Monday. High pressure remains in control on Monday. It's centred over Scandinavia, but it's still bringing in easy winds across most parts of the country. Perhaps a few showers breaking out, but I think the emphasis through the early part of next week is on dry weather and possibly turns increasingly warm and humid across southern parts of the country. So this idea we've got a load of the warmest temperatures in the north and a little bit cooler and fresh in the south, that might flip around through the early part of next week. It could start to go a bit cooler in the north with the highest temperatures spreading back southwards again through the early part of next week. Temperatures into the 80s Fahrenheit perhaps through Monday and Tuesday. But by Wednesday, the high pressure is pulling out to our northwest. We're starting to pull in these east to northeasterly winds across the country. That will start to drop the temperature. And certainly this GFS run has no problem getting those northerlies right way down into the south of the country. So the second half of next week does look significantly cooler. You'd probably even say colder. Maybe the chance of a return of overnight ground frost, more particularly in the north. And I'm not sure there's all that much precipitation involved with this, but there could certainly be showers coming in with these north to northeasterly winds. As we run up towards day 10, generally we stay on the cool side of the ridge, so we keep wind in from the north. By day 10, which is, let's say, Monday the 8th of June, we're just starting to ridge the high pressure back in from off the Atlantic. But most places, again, are looking mainly dry as we get through to day 10 and a little bit on the cool side. In the more extended range, we just keep that high pressure out to our west with this GFS run, which keeps further systems coming in from off the Atlantic. So this GFS run is actually rather cool and unsettled, going right way up to the middle of June. That keeps things rather cool and unsettled up to the middle of June, with the Azores high generally displaced further west and northwest of its typical position. So that will be a rather cool and rather unsettled first half to June, actually. The GM looks like that. So again, high pressure's in control, well and truly in control for Monday, bringing lots of dry, fine and very warm weather, and that continues into Tuesday too. Could be an increased risk of showers through the early part of next week, but the emphasis will be on dry weather and probably increasingly warm and humid in the south. By Wednesday, we might be starting to bring some thunder into the south by this area of low pressure across northern parts of France. But the main thing really through the second half of next week is, again, those winds turning into the north, bring the cooler air in from the north and from the northeast as well. Could be going a bit showery in northern and eastern parts of the country. The first weekend of June has high pressure to our west, low pressure to our east. Winds in from the north. Looks quite chilly, maybe you'll say quite cold with those northerly winds. And then we finish up at day 10, which is Monday the 8th of June, just trying to reach this high pressure back from off the Atlantic again. ECM, high pressure centred over Scandinavia for Monday. Winds in from the east, lots of dry and warm or very warm weather. That goes on in Tuesday as well. Temperatures probably coming increasingly warm in the south. Middle of next week, might start to see some thunder down in the south with this area of low pressure. It does look a little bit thundery across France and northern Spain. At the same time, high pressure's out to our northwest. Winds are turning into the northeast. Second half of next week, we dig in those colder north to northeasterly winds, and that's how we look as we get to Saturday the 6th of June in a proper north to northeasterly then. So certainly temperatures taking a bit of a plummet, and all feeling a lot colder. And we get to day 10, probably just the first signs of the Azores high starting to reach back in from the Atlantic. So by day 10, it looks like, which is the 8th of June, looks like the ECM is just trying to back the wind into the west again. the southwest, and maybe trying to bring some warmer, drier conditions back from the southwest. That's interesting. It may be, but it won't be too long before we find ourselves back under the Azores High. Remember, that is 10 days away. These are options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 8th of June. So we have 27 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our west, and low pressure is to the east through here. Jet stream doing something a little bit like that. So we look rather cool and showery at day 10 with that option. 24 have the low pressure more towards the south-southeast. I'm starting to try and build this ridge back in from off the Atlantic. However, that's still generally quite cool and showery, and it does include the operational run. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 13th of June. We have 20 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure just out to our west. So a return of the Azores High with that option, turning drier. That's still a bit on the cool side, but certainly turning quite a lot drier. 16 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure out to our west and northwest, low pressure to the south. Winds are going to be in from the east. That could be still a little bit showery for the south. However, it does look as though high pressure is resuming. And then these 15 just here have us under a big area of high pressure by 13th of June. High pressure is well and truly back in control. That's obviously turning dry and potentially very warm as well. So the ECM ensembles look like they're moving towards higher pressure returning by the middle of June. We didn't really see it on the GFS operational run, but looked at a few moments ago. But certainly the ECM ensembles look like they want to get us back to high pressure by the middle of June. Warmer, drier conditions coming back perhaps by mid-month. Finally, this CFS V2 is looking for June. So this is the 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2 for June 2020 today. It's going for above average heights to be over and to west and north. We're going to below average heights to the south. In a rather bizarre scenario, it looks like it's pretty unsettled month for Spain and Portugal, where you would normally expect it to be very dry. Of course, it looks like it could be actually quite wet during June, and we're close to the ridge of high pressure, looking relatively dry. Winds are coming in from the east, of course. Temperature anomalies for June 2020 are slightly above average. Not going to be a very hot month, if that's right, but certainly it is a bit on the warmer side. And not much of a signal for precipitation, but probably, if anything, hinting at being a bit drier than average, especially for more northern and western parts of the country. So it's like an interesting outlook, really. So we're going to get these northerlies coming in next week by the look of it, although within the GFS ensembles there's a bit of uncertainty about how far north we push those, how far south we push those northerlies down into southern parts of the country. But it looks like we're going to go into those northerly winds. I think there's pretty good agreement across all of the models for that. But how long it stays cool for, how long it is we're bringing the Azores High back in off the Atlantic, it does look as though the ECM ensembles want to get us back to the Azores High pretty quickly, say by the middle part of June. It looks like the ECM ensembles are quite keen to get the Azores High back into control. So we shall see. We shall see how it all plays out over the next few days, of course. But certainly, like during the first week of June, we are going to see a pretty significant drop in temperature, I think. Gardeners and farmers, beware. There could be some ground frost on offer in around a week's time. And maybe some showery rain as well. But I'm still a little bit dubious just about how much precipitation there will be with these north to northeasterlies. Because north to northeasterlies don't tend to be overly wet, really, especially for more southern parts of the country. I'm a bit dubious how much rain there'll be with these northerlies. But definitely quite a significant drop in temperature is on the way. Right, so that's it for this video. We'll be back at 7 o'clock with the ENSO update for May 2020. That'll bring you an update with everything that's going on, El Nino and La Nina-wise in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Lows coming up over the weekend. Tomorrow we're going to start off with the third and final season model roundup for summer of 2020. I can get all of the long-range models together one final time, see what we're all showing for the summer. Also going to have weekend forecast and a week 10-day video update tomorrow as well. And then on Sunday, it's the big one, 10 a.m. We'll have the Gasworthy Summer 2020 forecast. That'll be the first video up on Sunday. So all of the updates we've been doing for the summer, they've all been building up to that summer forecast. That's going to be released at 10 a.m. on Sunday. we're also going to have Gaz Weather's Study Roundup, and then, of course, as the long-range bandwagon is rolling on from summer to autumn, we're going to have a little sneak peek for the autumn updates on Sunday afternoon, and then at 5 o'clock, that wasn't enough, at 5 o'clock, we're going to be live streaming on YouTube, and we'll embed it across social media accounts, and that live stream is going to have a look at the CFS V2, or some CFS V2 data for winter of 2020-21, as well as taking all your questions and so on. So it's going to be a very busy weekend for me, but you keep checking back to the channel and to the website, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll be notified when we release all of the content, and it's going to be absolutely great. So lots coming up over the weekend. Do keep checking back to all of it. Aim to update 7 o'clock tonight. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.